Thank you so much for staying tuned, and it's all about Nigeria and our multi-party system. Yeah, you get to hear about 74 shown the exit, remaining very few numbers, and you get to hear also the importance and the impact of a multi-party system. Now, Nigeria is a vast society, and many persons do have one or two things to say about the system of government, and many others have the right to come together to say, look, we can form our own party in order to bring forth or show forth our manifesto. When it happened, we have more than 90 political parties, Nigerians, many of them welcomed it, and many have the opinion that, look, this is just a sham. All of a sudden, there was a kind of a reshaping or a restructuring of the political system, and 74 were asked to step aside, and two didn't take it so lightly. They sued the Independent National Electoral Commission to court to demand reasons why due process wasn't followed, or why the courts were not involved in registering these political parties. What are the implications of all this? With me here in the studio, I have a politician, one-time vice chairman of Ego local government, and of course, one-time acting chairman also of Ego local government. Join me to welcome Honorable Desmond Ugbo. Honorable, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
I appreciate your coming. I sit very close to him. As you get to hear put food on the table, he is a vibrant youth, a vibrant comrade, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Obaraye Osahon. Obaraye, welcome to the show. All right. Now, when you get to hear Labour devotee, you get to hear about NUJ, you get to hear about Edo politics, you get to hear about analysis on political issues. Yes, this is the man I really want to introduce. Labour devotee, Money Mike, Modesty Itoa. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, good morning.
And of course, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's put the ball on the field and let's kick off this discussion. What do you feel about what transpired last week, Money Mike, about the registering of 74 political parties? And this was still the same chairman that registered those parties, so to speak. He accepted the registration form and all that, and right now he's saying 74, they're not good enough to be among the bunch. What can you make out of this?
Thank you for the question. I think the INEC chairman is not acting outside his boundary. The Electoral Act and many other enabling laws of the Federation gave him the impetus to be able to do what he did. And let's go down memory lane so that our viewers will follow exactly how the present weedy multi-party system came into being. Recall that the late Chief Ganifa Wahimi, then NCP, National Conscience Party, was not allowed to participate in an election or was deregistered on the basis of the fact that the electoral body then, or government as at then, wanted fewer number of political parties. And there were some other parties who were also affected, but Gani didn't fold his hands. He went ahead to the courts and went as far as the Supreme Court before that decision was upturned, to the effect that Nigerians have the fundamental human rights and freedom of association to form political parties of their choices. That was what that gave rise to the springing out of more political parties. A time also came that the system was awash with both the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everybody can just wake up and form a political party. And they hadn't any political foundation, so to speak, in winning any form of election, whether it is councillorship or House of Assembly. And the amendment made to the Electoral Act made provision for the existence of political parties on the basis of certain irreducible minimums. And I'm sure that is where the INEC chairman has derived his powers to do what he has just done. Because fundamentally, most or virtually all these 74 parties we're talking about, none of them could win a single seat in any democratic election, whether it is councillor, just mention it. They couldn't win any. And don't also forget that as INEC is registering about 74, we are told that close to 50, 60 and above are waiting for registration. So
Okay.
More issues will come out of this.
More issues will come out of
Yes,
this.
yes.
I'll come back to you shortly. Comrade, what do you feel about this? He gave a wonderful foundation to this discussion, talked about the experience of late Gani, and here we are. Take it up from there.
Thank you so much. I think my leader here has given us a base to talk about. The truth must be told is that actually, after the 74, are they true registered party? Because why? You have a party where Wilson Marshall is the national chairman, the wife is the vice chairman, the son is the youth leader, the daughter is the woman leader, the mother-in-law is the son. So you share it virtually, and
But that's not the way this party operates. Is that the example you're drawing?
I'm giving you also
Okay.
a base too.
You're right.
Virtually, you now have a political party assuming to be registered, not having a branch, neither in another local government or ward, not to talk of state. We have 774 local government in Nigeria. I'm sure that virtually you should know that out of the 74 parties that were deregistered, the presence is not being felt in up to, let's say, 20-30% in the Nigeria political base. So, and INEC at the end of the day also give these people stipends to fund that political party. So to me, after seeing that a waste of revenue, there was a time in the country where you see people using a political party, let's say party A, registering another party as a base. In case this does not happen here, it will happen here. Citing the case of Imo State, where you had a governor of the state touring the flag of APC, the son-in-law touring the flag of AA, and the governor using the party resources for APC for AA. And after the defeat of the son-in-law, you saw all of them again metamorphosing back again to the side APC. So it goes to tell you that integrity doesn't really matter. So to me, where is AA now in the political space in Imo? They came just like Bisco, and that is the end. So INEC, to me, is one of the best decisions that's also taken. It also goes to show that they are ready for the next election. It goes to show that, as a politician, I will tell you, if on election day, you'll be shocked at the tag. You hear one party, CC, that does not even have an office in your terrain, and you see a party agent standing for that said party. Even a party that does not have a candidate in a said election, you see other parties trying to monetize people just to stand. So to me, all those are electoral fraud. So it's one of the best things that INEC chairman has done.
Okay.
And it should also not shy away from the truth to re-register those that have been deregistered.
Okay, I will come back to you. Now, it's like they are saying that INEC chairman, Prof. Mahmoud, took the right decision. But it was this same chairman, he was the one in charge when these same political parties were registered. So, didn't they see this coming before they did that? Honorable Desmond.
Thank you very much. You see, the process of registration has some certain pre-requirements for a political association to be registered as a political party. And today, tongues are wagging as to the registration of the 74 political parties. I recall that sometimes last year, about 32 political parties went to court when they had the rumor of the registry of the political party, and the case is in court and it's bid for judgment on the 17th of this month. I'm sure that informed why the INEC quickly called a press conference and they did the needful. But to be candid, INEC acted within the ambit of the law, within the confines of their law, and the section 225 of the 1999 Constitution as amended also empower INEC to register and deregister a political party. And the fourth alteration of the Electoral Act has also gave room for INEC to do what they did. And that act was ascended to by the president just last year. And one of the preconditions for deregistering a political party is when they cannot meet at least 25% of the total vote cast in a particular local government. Take, for example, if a party cannot win an election or garner as much as 2,565 votes in a particular election, in a particular local government, that political party is not fit and proper to exist. And if, for example, they cannot win a councillor, they can't win a council chairman, or say, for example, just one councillor in a local government, they cannot also win a House of Assembly seat, and they cannot win at least 25% of the total vote cast in a gubernatorial election. All these are certain preconditions that necessitated the registering of this political party. But I'm sure that the INEC did not do their homework properly. Take, for example, Kowa Party. Kowa Party won a councillorship seat in Okigwe local government in Imo State, yeah. Okigwe. And what will now become the fate of the councillor currently serving? Such a councillor will be partiless. So I think that is the area the INEC should also review, okay, find it properly. And what has just happened is a kind of a deworming, and is very healthy for our democracy, because just like what my friend just painted, Obarai said, during an election, we are practitioners of the system, and we know what happens in an election, where you see about 4 or 5 political party is being given an agent just to stand as a base and a support to the main political party. So all that we are aware is just part of electoral fraud. And if actually they cannot have an office in at least 24 out of the 36 states of the federation, they are not fit to exist as a party. And if majority of this political party that have been deregistered doesn't have an office in Abuja, chocolates of in 24 out of the 36 states of the federation, and if they continue like that, whereas there is a stipend that the INEC normally give them on every election year to sustain such a party, can they continue to collect such stipend and share it at every election and go to their kaku? And these are certain things that one will begin to ask. In our clan, yes, considering the over 200 million population that we have, one will begin to talk about multi-party system. But the one that has been in existence, how formidable are they? Okay. How have they been able to conduct themselves properly? Because the more they say is merrier. But right. A situation where there is proliferation of political parties, and yet they don't have a structural base to compete with the main party, then it will negate the very essence for which they were registered in the first place. All right. Take note also that about 100, it is 100, not 30 something, not 60 something, 100 political associations are awaiting registration. What I next said is that those who have been in place before, who have been registered before, they did not meet the constitutional requirement, the electoral requirement for them to continue to exist as a party. So that has been flushed out. Then the remaining 18 political parties or thereabout, those are the parties that are fit now, considering the fact that they have met substantial conditions required by law to keep them going. All right. So let us hope and believe that those areas that they have been preached upon the rights of those that have made the requirement will be reviewed. And the Kowa party issue will be properly looked into. And those in court, we'll talk about the Kowa party right now. Are waiting judgment on the 17th of February. Okay. Should also have their matter listening carefully to.
Okay, fine. Now, Comrade Bonnie Mike, he raised so many points. He talked about the Kowa issue in Okigwe local government in Imo State. And of course, talked about also cases against INEC, the registered political party that are staying in court. awaiting judgment, but the act was carried out. And more so, before a political party is registered, don't they do a background check? Take it from that angle.
Yes, definitely. INEC conducts a background check.
Yeah.
What is important is that there are laid-down requirements for the registration of political parties. And if the laid-down requirements are not as stringent as they used to be, it has been so liberalized, everybody may decide to form a political. And once you meet that basic requirement, you are bound to be registered. But there are laws that also give powers to INEC to also deregister, like my colleagues here have said. So, and that's what INEC has done. Then if it comes to the issue of having a case in court, and I'm not sure there was a restraining order on INEC, or there was an interlocutory injunction subsisting, which the INEC has flouted.
But they're waiting for judgment.
Yes, they are waiting for judgment. Notwithstanding, whether INEC has deregistered now or not, and the judgment comes and it's in favor of the political parties, INEC will also be bound to carry out to implement the judgment of the court. It's either they go on appeal or they carry out the judgment of the court as it favors the political parties. But I wouldn't want to start saying, because I've never heard of any injunction against INEC from the registering the political parties.
Because right now we have two parties talking tough.
Yes, they have a right. Even the registered political parties, they also have a right to seek
taking the case to court.
To seek redress. Yes, they have a right to seek redress. Like the COA party he has mentioned, I think I'm learning about that for the first time. And if COA party has a councillor in the East, and maybe by way of omission or commission, INEC didn't know, INEC has to reverse that decision on the ground that it has met one of the basic requirements to sustain that party as a political party in Nigeria. But I wouldn't know whether INEC also has a contrary view, or whether the COA party councillorship candidate in that particular state has decamped to another political party, which now makes a COA party no longer existent. So a lot of variables may also come into play. But if where you have genuine grounds, or where you have genuine mistakes being made, then they have to be reversed. They just have to be reversed. The country is ours. Any political party who feels that it has been injured has the right to seek redress in the court of law. And if the court decides that the party should be brought back to the line of registered political parties, and there is no appeal, then so be it.
All right.
But let us not fool ourselves by thinking that when we have up to 90 or 100 political parties in Nigeria, that is going to do us a lot of good. It's not doing us any good at all. Even the 18 we are talking about, to me, it's extremely too weedy. What are we looking for?
Too weedy.
Too weedy. We have freedom of association. That freedom is not unlimited. It's also not unlimited. Okay. So as a people, we can also come together to say, yes, we believe in multi-party system. But it should not be the type that by the time you go to the ballot, you go to vote, you are given a ballot paper that is almost 100 feet long. Almost 100 feet long, because 300, 500 political parties now decided to exist. The freedom of association is not unlimited. There is no freedom, it is unlimited.
Okay.
So let us also be cautious of this. If the lawmakers can have the political will to do something, let them genuinely do something. But don't forget too, that some of these people, they play some political tricks with these political parties.
We are coming to that.
A subsisting, a well-known political party may decide to front for 5, 6 other political parties.
We are coming to that.
All for the purpose of rigging elections.
Now, people are some of the opinion that this is like a displacement method. If you study of chemistry, you get to get displacement reaction. That we have some parties waiting to be registered. Maybe because the pressure will be too much on INEC. According to them, they did what is called selective deregistering. What do you feel about this hypothesis?
Yeah, to me, you are trying to speak a very big grammar on what is supposed to be understood by my grandmother that never saw the 4 walls of any school. Yeah. The truth is that INEC is the father of all the political parties in Nigeria. Political parties do not belong to federal government, neither any ministry. It's INEC that has the power to say which no matter political party has all the prerequisites and is hereby qualified to become a political party in Nigeria. Same INEC also now say no, with no matter political party, we've given it time and we see that it's not growing. Because actually, when the party is giving birth to, it has all the time to grow. And if you've given the time to grow and you are not growing, to me, you should also be seen giving chance to others to come. Because it's just like somebody that they've given you time, you are in a class, maybe in primary 1, you don't want to pass, you don't want to fail, you are still in the same class. So it's better for the school authority to say, come my friend, since you are not going to primary 2, and you also leave the school. So it's just the same thing INEC has done. Because when 2023 election will come, it's also the same INEC, this same party will be crying on a balloon to say they've not been giving all what it takes for them to conduct election. Conduct with election when you know in your closet that you speak to power, you cannot even pay your party agent. My brother, we've been in election in forefront since 1999. What it takes to run a political party is like the budget of a state during election. We are talking about a political party from the unit. I'm not talking about what now, I'm telling you about unit. Let me give you a very good example where I vote. SK Primary School has in Ward 7 already has Unit 6, Unit 7, Unit 8. So in that Unit 6, Unit 7, Unit 8, you are supposed to have agent here, agent here, agent here. Sometimes 1 or 2. And the money for agent now, when we started then, was 1,000. Now my brother is close to 10,000 per agent in a unit. I'm not talking about what. So by the time you use Ward 7 as a case study in Oredo that has over 30 units, that's to tell you, first of all, a party in power has to have, let's say, 60 agents. If you want to say 2, which is minimum. Yeah. That 2, you are paying them, let's say, 5,000 times 60. That's about 300,000. Which we see a match party does not even have in an election. And if in an election you don't have an agent, I never see Kowa party in my ward. I don't see them in my ward. In my unit, I don't
but
see
it's
them.
in existence.
No.
And they want a local government.
Yes, I'm giving you.
But every election you see the agents.
I'm telling you. I've not seen them. I can tell you virtually all where parties meet in my ward. I tell you, go to Costain, you see this one. Go to Abuime, you see this one. But I've not seen Kowa party. But an election day, my brother, you will see a Kowa party agent. Even from your own brother, Wisdom Master Jr., wearing a Kowa party agent. He has been paid by another ruling party. So to me, all these are electoral fraud. If by the time INEC is now trying to weed them away to say, I'll be saying, let me born you. No, I'll not be born you again. You don't have the right to quarrel with that said person. Because can INEC now deregister PDP? Can INEC now deregister APC? These are parties that have what it takes to move. And they are moving. I get it now. Can INEC also go again to say they want to, we have one accord party somewhere in Delta State? Though we know the political plans going on there. But already that is in existence. So by the time INEC is telling you Kowa party is not in existence, it is their Kowa party. As a politician, I know. But students of history might not even know. But because I'm into politics, and by the time they give us that lengthy ballot paper on election day, we start seeing, oh, Kowa party. You see even same logo. Same logo. You see this one with house. One is house with then we have put another one. Maybe mama, papa join the house. Just so confusing those people that does not really understand what it takes to vote. All right. You see AA, you see AAA, you see AC. By the time you're now also looking for your party, you see so the whole thing is confusing.
All right.
Can you remember? Let's go back to history in 1933 election where you have NRO CSDP. My brother, I think that is one of the best elections. Nigeria is still saying they did. The reason is not the reason is because if you are not here, you are there.
All right.
I get it that in America, though we have numbers of parties, but the one we know is the Republicans and the Democrats. If you are not here, you are there. These are
okay.
Misfire.
All right, let me come to you, Honorable Desmond.
You see, anything can happen.
I know you want to react to some of their comments, but
Definitely.
I need to add this to it also.
we have some parties waiting to be registered. If eventually they pass our INEC test, so to speak, will that bring us back to the same situation? Having multiple parties that may not be able to meet up.
Well, registering of a political party it has a process. Once you meet the condition, you become a registered political party. Like we have seen in 2011, a political party took the INEC to court. Just make mention of the late Gani Fawemi. And at the end, the Supreme Court said they cannot rely on the Electoral Act, which is inconsistent with the ground norm. If the ground norm said such a political party should be registered, so be it. But citing Electoral Act, that is not enough. And that was the judgment. And that gave INEC the reverser to accommodate all those political parties. And now, because of those technicalities, the National Assembly has also put it in place in the Electoral Act, has just been assented to by the President last year, which now gave INEC the power and the capacity to deregister those parties which fall short of their requirements. Those are waiting registration. They are freshers. They are new to the system. So you can't accuse them of having run foul of the registration process. But for those who have been there before, considering the yardstick of the Electoral Act and the section of the Constitution 225, which empower INEC to register and deregister, I'm sure those political parties have been registered and they have deregistered them based on their non-availability of those requirements. But let us also look at this. There are political parties which have now metamorphosed or now form a merger to form another political party. Like the CPC is also still there, which is part of those that have been deregistered now. The AD was there, the ACD was there, the ACN was there, and I've got to name it. All these are political parties that were hitherto on their own, and they later now form a coalition for another political party like the APC, for example. So all those parties cease to exist. But other people are now using such a platform to bring in people during elections to feed them as party agents. Should the case when there is the process of election sorting of ballot papers and election counting, those who have been hired, so to speak, are now saying, yes, don't cancel that election, don't cancel that, yes. The other one will say, his wife. They say, no. So INEC officials always look at the majority of people who are saying yes in order to allow such a ballot to go. All these are certain fraudulent activities that surrounds election process. But let us also look at it that INEC have done the best in weeding off all these political parties and allow those who have survived it now to now do a proper organization rather than agonizing. Because one thing is sacrosanct in an election: money and capacity. Most of these deregistered political parties don't have the financial capacity to sustain their party. Because in an election, in such a climate where there is hunger and starvation, the gullible minds and indeed the only commodity for election is the human beings, is the citizens. And once the gap between the rich and the poor is widening, and the people have no other choice than to listen to those who have the money to travel. So there and then you see them dancing to the major political party. So having attained that position of becoming the ruling party or the major opposition party, you would have advised yourself, or rather realized that these people have garnered enough funds and capacity to deal with those who are just springing up. And in the issue of some political figure finding favor in another political party, or not having favor or finding favor in a particular political party that he would decide to just use one of those mushroom political party in quote and feed their own choice of because there's no room for independent candidacy. So once that one is there, one will begin to see those political parties as never do well, as not too good to exist. So these are certain reasons why I am sure the INEC has done the needful. But in a country such as ours, with this huge population, we need multi-party system, but not to the detriment of those political parties that are ready to do good to the citizens. But let me also add, among all the political parties from A to Z, I don't want to mention name now, which among them have a clear-cut ideology that will make one to say either I am for this or I am for the other. Just like as Obaraye mentioned that in the United States of America, we have two major political parties, either Democrat or Republican. But that is not to say that there are no other political parties.
Okay.
But those political parties do not have the ideology that can suit the vision and mission of an average American. And that is the reason why you see those two political parties featuring prominently. So in the case of Nigeria, if they ask you which are the political parties in Nigeria, you will be quick to mention PDP and APC.
All right.
And others are just supporting.
They will not agree to that.
That is the reality.
They will not
they
agree
may
to
not
that.
agree, but that is the practical reality.
No, may not. They will not agree to that. And say
They may not agree,
party.
but left to them, they know that is the practical reality.
All right, now we have other segments to really deal with this platform, talking about today's edition of This Morning on ITV. If we're going to use 1 minute each to summarize, advise INEC, because Nigerians are apprehensive. If you know that this is not going to work, why do it in the first instance? And we have other parties line up. They want to be registered. Take it up from there.
INEC is abiding by the laws of the Federation, empowering them to do whatever they are doing. So if you wish me to make an advice, I would say, yes, as a country, the National Assembly should take the bull by the horn and have the political will to now confront the system appropriately. We can decide to say maximum of 10 political parties. Because as it is, if for instance the 100 that are on the queue not to be registered are eventually registered, and in the next election of 2023, you have almost 120 political parties. It means the ballot paper that you are expecting, depending on the number, if all of them, will be so long. Economically, we'll be wasting resources, we'll just be wasting all type of energy and all that.
Right.
We don't need all that. Like I said, freedom anywhere in the world is not unlimited. Freedom of association is not unlimited. Where yours is ending, somebody else's own may be beginning.
Right.
So let us tell ourselves the truth. We need to do the needful right now. But let us not also forget, like the key political parties, they have a way of galvanizing some other people to register political parties. We are aware of this.
Right.
And during election period, you see all those mushroom ones coming to adopt the key political parties. We are for this, we are for that. Consolidation and amalgamation is allowed. Those who have just been registered can decide to put away their differences and come together, form an amalgam of a political party, and so be it.
Thank you.
Then for those that are already on ground can decide to consolidate and absorb all those ones that have been registered.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Moni Mike Modestitua, for your wonderful analysis. Obaraye, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, there's an adage in my dialect that says, "Where Genofe, come and serve the rich man." You say you will not serve the rich man. You become rich, and people serve you. You don't want to be rich. So, to me, what INEC has done is a right step in the right direction. Because the parties that are complaining now, in their inner closet, know that their time was really up because they had nothing doing in the political space.
Are you in the inner closet?
No, I'm telling you, there are some things you know that when you yourself is alone, you will say, oh, this was a very vital mistake. But just because of pride, you can come out and say, no, I never made that mistake. No, I never. So they might be shouting to want to go to court just to get themselves up high. But the truth is that, let's further to ourselves. My brother, move from here around and tell me of the parties that have been deregistered today by INEC last week. Tell me how many of them you see the headquarters in Edo.
All right, thank you.
You will not see one. If you see, I will be happy. I saw one. Other pineapple.
Enough.
The man is the one contesting for Senate. He's the chairman of the party. He's everything. Just one. He lives in that same place, and a banner there, there. So you can see all this waka. So my brother must be told.
Thank you, Honorable Desmond. Please, 1 minute.
Well, especially I want to appeal to those that have been deregistered. To come in because the national chairman of the APC, Comrade Adapso Shomule, has opened the party's door very wide for them to come in. He has started that recently, and I'm sure that they will find a safe haven in the party, despite the little skirmishes. There is always agreement and disagreement in the game of politics. That is not to say that we are not going to be victorious. So my appeal also is to INEC to look into the issue of the councillor in Okigwe local government.
The COA party.
The COA party, because if the right thing is not done, if COA party take the INEC to court, they will win, as there is a councillor subsisting there. So to avoid rendering that councillor partyless. But I don't know, just like what Money Mike has said, whether the guy has jumped the ship. Because that is very common. They don't want to endure. Look at what happened to he ran away to join PDP and take a commissioner position. Only for him to discover that his own seat has been restored. So for what patience is what matters. Don't look at the bread and butter that is immediate. Look at the future if you really have that ideology.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate the wonderful analysis. You've heard them, so some comic touch here and there, but the truth has been spoken. Whatever you hear them say is their own opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll take a look at Edo 2020 party primaries in view. Stay with us.